I've just purchased this 2016 R1200 GS Adventure, and I'm going to talk about that, including what I paid for it, the condition it's in, accessories that were included, and then what my plans are with it. As I said, this is a 2016 R1200 GS Adventure, and I purchased it in June of 2024. If you're watching this far into the future, I'll let you know that the R1300 GS was just released this year. An R1300 GS Adventure is not yet available, but it did just get announced a few days ago after I bought this. So that's just kind of the environment that we're in as far as what GSs exist in the marketplace today. This bike has 10,500-ish miles on it. The purchase price was $11,500. I am in Central Oregon. The bike was about 8 hours away in Northern California, so I had to go pick it up. The gas, the hotel, and trailer rental to go pick it up added another $500 to that total. Getting the bike registered, titled in the state of Oregon added another $200 to that total. So all in so far, the quote unquote out the door price of this bike is $12,200. I felt like that was a competitive price at the time for its mileage and condition. Speaking of condition, let me share its current state, because it ain't perfect. It is an adventure bike and it has seen some adventure. As a result, you'll find some scratches here and there on the bike, some on the crash guards, some on the plastics, and the handguards too. The bike was dropped on the right side at some point, which added some scratches and a small dent or bend in the crash guard. In addition to its existing scratches, there is a small tear in the seat, but not too worrying as long as it doesn't spread. The navigation is currently stuck in its cradle. At first, I couldn't get it locked in there, and now I can't get it out. I'll fix that later. The keys are also in a weird state. The key on the fob was cut by a locksmith and doesn't quite work. The fob works to start the bike, but the key doesn't work to unlock anything like the navigation, seat, or luggage. There is a metal bit that does work, but I had to put it in a vice grip to use it. The plastic spare key is also broken. Basically, I need some keys, so I'll figure that out. Another issue is with the tire pressure monitor system. They don't read the correct values. These tires are not at 74 psi. There's an accessory installed on this bike called the Hex Easy Can that may be interfering with these readings. I'll probably remove that accessory to see if it solves the problems with the TPMS. However, this bike is about 8 years old, so those sensors, they may just be bad. They don't last forever, and they may need to be replaced. Another tiny issue is that the service light reminder is currently on. The previous owner did their own maintenance, and they didn't reset this light as a part of that process. I have a device called the GS911 that will let me reset that reminder. It does additional diagnostic and maintenance functions, but for now, I'll use it just to turn off that light and check for any other faults the bike may have. Lastly, let's talk about the luggage that was included. As we get to the right side of the bike, you can see the evidence of the bike being dropped. I've pushed the dent out a little already, but I'll hammer on it a bit more to see if I can make it a bit more presentable, or at least close to more square. That's the condition I know of so far. Moving on to the accessories and upgrades, the previous owner did add a few things over time. Some I'm pretty happy about, some will be getting removed pretty soon. For example, they added some bargain auxiliary lights. They don't currently function that well, and some of the LEDs don't work or are intermittently working. I'll be removing these. Also, this is what the Hex Easy Can device was controlling, so I won't need it to be installed once I remove these lights. So maybe that'll help the tire pressure monitoring system. A common upgrade that they did was to add double take mirrors to the bike. This is an upgrade that I also probably would have done, so it's nice to already have that there. They also added some guards here and there for additional armor. There are these cylinder heads from Touratech, radiator guard from Wunderlich. Also, they added a side stand switch guard, and lastly, they added the OEM bash plate from BMW. It is a bit of a hodgepodge of brands for all of these plates, but I'm glad they're there. They did add the navigator as well, which is a pretty costly upgrade. For a navigation device, it's a little lacking in regards to user experience, but I do like the integration into the bike, as it can read from the sensors for things like speed, tire pressure, engine temperature, etc. So what's next for this bike now that it's all mine? Short version, spend more money. Sort out those keys, change the oil, remove the knockoff auxiliary lights and the hex easy can to see if that addresses the TPMS issues. Bang on the luggage a little more to see if I can make it any better. I'm also going to go ahead and address the 12,000 mile service stuff. I know it's a little bit early, but it'll provide the opportunity to just make sure this bike is as dialed in as possible. With that, I've started to plan my first trip. I'm in Central Oregon, so I'm planning something down the coast. That'll give me a chance to work through those street tires and build some experience on the bike before attempting anything less paved. That's the end of my overview of this new, to me, bike. Let me know if you have any questions, and thanks for watching. As a small PS to this, this voiceover is being done a couple weeks later, and I've already taken it to the mechanic for a service and inspection. In fact, the bike is there right now. That $12,200 out the door price that I mentioned is about to go way up, namely due to worn out bushings and the non-rebuildable suspension. So good news, I'm about to get a brand new tuned to me suspension. I'm really trying to be cup is half full because that does add a very significant cost to this bike. All part of the fun of buying used, I guess. That's how we learn.